This is why setting unrealistic goals will change your life. You are only limited by your beliefs. There's a famous quote by Henry Ford that goes, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. And that's true if you think about it. The people who achieve the greatest things in the world, the people who break world records, the Usain Bolts, the LeBron James, the Michael Jacksons, the greatest people on earth in terms of the skill that they've learned, they didn't achieve those things by accident. They didn't just oops and accidentally become the greatest athlete of all time or greatest basketball player of all time. They didn't just oops and make the most hit records of all time. They didn't just oops and become a billionaire. Like, these people had the belief, if anything, they had the belief that it, first of all, was possible. So I just want to go into a little bit of detail on what unrealistic goals actually mean. I keep doing unrealistic because unrealistic is subjective. It's 100,000,000% subjective. What may be unrealistic to you and your belief may be 100% achievable to me, and vice versa. So it's all a matter of changing your belief system and changing what you believe is even possible, because if you ever want to achieve anything, you have to believe it's possible. You can't intentionally achieve anything believing that it's also impossible. So I'm in a process right now. I've challenged myself to manifest my dream life within 3 months, and I made a video in detail on how I'm doing that. I'll link it up here I think, on how to manifest your dream life within 3 months. It's currently day 5 for me doing that, and I'm gonna make sure that I manifest my dream life. And what my dream life is for me is moving to Hawaii. That's one aspect of it. I have a lot of different things that I want to do, but that's a big thing for me. I want to move to Hawaii. I'm starting from scratch, and I want to make sure that I make that happen within 3 months. So you can watch that video. I'll add it at the end of this video as well. Hopefully that inspires you, because a lot of people, when I tell people that I want to move to Hawaii, you know the first thing that they say? They all say this. They all say, man, it's expensive in Hawaii. Okay, like, people limit their own self because people associate expensive with being, oh, I mean, it's too much money. Well, my whole philosophy around that is, okay, make more money. How about that? Like, don't limit yourself by that. So for me, I'm not gonna limit myself in believing that it's expensive. I've been there twice. The cost of living is like equivalent to that of California, if not more expensive. Actually, I think it's more expensive than California. So yes, quote unquote, it would be defined as expensive, but I'm not gonna not move somewhere that I'm passionate. I'm passionate about Hawaii. I'm not gonna not move there because it costs more than where I'm at now. And people who live where I'm at now, I'm in Texas, and a lot of people would like to move to Hawaii. At least they say that they want to move to Hawaii, or just like move somewhere else, but they are happy and they're fine with just like staying in Texas. For me, that can't work. Like, that can't work for me. I'm much more interested in moving somewhere that's like remote, somewhere that's like far away, but it's somewhere that I'm passionate about being at. I love it every day, every single second that I'm in Hawaii. I feel like I'm in heaven. I'd rather be there and have to pay more money for it. Okay, I'd rather be there than be somewhere that I'm like, you know, it's cool here, traffic sucks, I mean, you know, it's hot. Like, I'd rather be somewhere that I'm excited and passionate about every single second of every single day than to be somewhere that I'm just comfortable here. I want that to serve as an example for you. Hopefully it inspires you to at least break out your own limiters. Like, get out of your own way. There are things that you can achieve. Okay, actually, I'm gonna go into detail on this real quick. One of my mentors, his name is Bashar. If you're not familiar with Bashar, you gotta tap into Bashar content. Just look him up on YouTube. I'm not even gonna explain who he is. Like, I think that's for you to understand your own, you know, give your own definitions to it. Just at least hear him out. At least hear his perspective and hear the wisdom that he speaks. And one of my favorite things he mentioned before is when it comes to what's possible, or when it comes to impossible, there's no such thing as impossible and unrealistic. So there's a whole concept around when you imagine something, what that actually is and like what you're actually doing. You're not creating a new idea in your mind. You're not inventing this new thing. Inventions and people who invent things, they're not inventing something. They're basically receiving that idea. I have a lot of experience in this because I can go into detail on this. There's been so many inventions that I had the idea of. There's been so many song ideas that I had the idea of. And the next thing I know, because at the time, this was when I was younger, especially, at that time I didn't have the resources to make it happen. I just had an idea. And I promise you, I would see I mean, I would hear on the next day I would listen to the radio in the car, and somebody is playing the song that I thought of. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't make it. I didn't even make the song yet. I just thought of the song, and somebody else made the song. And so, what that tells me, I mean, what that is saying, and what Bashar has mentioned in the videos, is that when you come up with an idea, or when you have a dream, or when you have an ambition, or the goal, or desire, or an invention, what that is you're psychologically aligning your frequency to that idea. So let's say that this invention that can make you a billionaire is right here, but you exist on a frequency down here every day. You just do your daily things. You're not on the frequency of that, but when you start practicing things that can raise your frequency, raise your vibration, or it's raising your frequency, it's raising your vibration. Now you're on the same frequency. Now you just got this random idea out of nowhere. I just got this idea for this invention. Let me do it. Let me take action on it. You just align with $1 billion idea. Now you can become a billionaire. I mean, you always have the potential to do it because you can raise your frequency at any point, at any rate. It's just naturally we humans, we slowly raise our frequency, or slowly like that's just the belief system that it has to take a long time, that it has to be a long process. It can be instantly. As a matter of fact, Bashar mentions as well, every single second we're changing our identity. We're changing who we actually are billions of times per second. The only reason that you have consistent things that happen in your life, you have a consistent patterns in your life, is because you have a belief that you have to perpetuate that belief. You have a belief that you have to perpetuate that belief, which makes it perpetuated in your life. So, say for instance, if you struggle with finances right now, every single second there's billions of opportunities to change that belief, but you don't, because you believe that I'm a person who has financial issues, say for instance. And so every single second that you're changing billions of times, you're confirming and reconfirming and reconfirming and reconfirming that you are a person who has financial issues. At any point, you can change that belief. So I'm just offering you the opportunity to change that belief. Change that belief. So on that note of Bashar mentioning what's actually impossible, whenever you think of anything new, or whenever you have a dream or just vision or anything that you desire, a goal or whatever it may be, what that is you tapping into the future. I can make a video on this as well, but it's you tapping into a potential future, at least, of what is possible for you, because you can't imagine what can't be done. You can't imagine what's impossible, because what's impossible doesn't exist. I mean, if there's something that you can imagine, that means that it's possible for you to achieve. And that's one of my favorite, I don't know if it's a quote, I don't know if I made that up, I don't know. But if you can imagine it, then you can achieve it. If you just let that sink in, that's really profound for me, because I got a vivid imagination. And a lot of the greats, the Einsteins and Nikola Teslas, they pride themselves on their imagination. The artists, a lot of people in the music industry have a lot of imagination. That's how they create their hit records. That's how they do their thing. So imagination is the garden for everything. And when you can get out of your own way and allow your imagination to roam free, allow yourself to be your younger self again, like psychologically, just allow yourself to have fun and just follow your excitement. Just enjoy life. And as soon as you can do that, get out of your own way, your imagination will open up, and you will be able to achieve whatever it is that you imagine yourself to achieve. So that's why setting unrealistic goals will change your life, because when you set an unrealistic goal, that means that you imagined something that is quote unquote unrealistic, or quote unquote impossible for a lot of people. Not for you. If you can imagine it, then it's possible. And that's something else as well. I can probably make more videos on this too, but you can't compare yourself to other people. You are not somebody else. You are you. So when it comes to you have an idea that many people, you may run that idea by a bunch of people, and they may say, man, that's a crazy idea. That'll never work. You know how many inventions that exist today, or how many things that exist today that people may run across other people and say, man, that'll never work. Do you know? I don't know the number, but I know there's a lot. You have to know that when you receive an idea, everything happens for a good reason. Everything happens for a good reason. You have to know that when you receive an idea, that idea is for you to execute on, if you feel inclined to doing it. Or it could just be an idea that you had. But if you feel inclined to doing it, and it's your idea, do it. Just do it. And it will change your whole life, because it is aligning you with your true self. Doing that idea came from your true self. So when you can take action on it and allow yourself to be your true self, your whole life will change. Hopefully you learned something from this video. I hope I gave you enough value for you to consider subscribing to the channel. I'm going to be teaching you a lot of things on this channel. I'm going to be This channel is designed for me to raise the consciousness of humanity in whatever way I see fit at the time. It may be through videos like this, it may be through music, it may be through some other form of media. I don't know yet, but I'm gonna do that on this channel. So if you're interested in joining me on that journey, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Master number 44.